Good morning, Power Reading. Today is Friday, May 22nd, number 59. We're reading an article called Senators Want Cacao Imports Blocked. So what is cacao? Cacao is chocolate beans, the beans that make chocolate. Read and annotate the article, then complete the Power Words, ELA Writing, and Quiz. So today we have vocabulary words. We are going to read at level 600. Senators want United States to stop importing cacao produced by forced child labor. Importing means when you bring something into a country to sell it or to use it, some sort of resource, like a food or wood, or when you bring something from another country. Remember, forced child labor is a type of modern slavery that we have already learned about. This article was written last summer, 2019. So this is a pretty recent article. Washington, D.C. When we see the name of a city or a country here before the article starts in big letters, capital letters, we know that just means they're reporting or writing the story in that city. Let's begin. Some farms on the African continent force children to work. They grow cacao beans. Then the farms sell cacao to companies that make chocolate.
Companies. Companies are groups of people that make or sell things.
Cacao from forced child labor should not come to the United States. 2 U.S. lawmakers said. The cacao should not be imported, they said.
Labor. Labor is work that is often hard to do or physical.
Ron Wyden is a lawmaker from Oregon. Sherrod Brown is a lawmaker from from Ohio. Ohio. They wrote a letter on July 16th about the problem. The letter was to the United States government. Chocolate companies were supposed to stop buying cacao. Government officials can block imported goods.
Officials. Officials are people who are in charge of something.
Government officials can block imported goods. They can stop things made by forced workers. The lawmakers wrote that there are reasons to block cacao from Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast is a country in Africa. It is a country in Western Africa. It is the world's biggest cacao maker. The letter talked about a news story about cacao farms. The story said big chocolate companies have not stopped child labor. The companies buy cacao from Africa. They promised earlier to avoid child labor.
Avoid. To avoid something is to stay away from it.
Blocking cacao from the Ivory Coast could bring big changes. It would affect U.S. chocolate companies. The Ivory Coast makes about 1/3 of the world's cacao. The letter said children are forced to work on cacao farms. Some imports were made with child labor, it said. The U.S. must do more to fight child labor, the letter said. Some of the world's largest chocolate companies are part of it. Mars, Nestle, and Hershey make chocolate. They promised to avoid buying cacao from forced labor farms. That was in 2001. Countries say child labor hurts them. The forced work continues, though. It goes on in Ivory Coast and Ghana, another country on the African continent. A study by the U.S. government in 2015 looked at cacao farms there. It said more than 2 million children worked there. Most worked on family farms. Thousands of other children are taken from neighboring countries, though. They are made to work on the farms. They are not paid. Chocolate companies are not fixing the problem, the lawmakers said. Watching themselves does not work. The past 20 years have shown that, the letter said. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is the president of Ghana. He said farmers make much less money than chocolate companies. That is not fair, he said. Some blame child labor on cacao farmers being poor. The governments of Ghana and Ivory Coast said they would charge higher prices. Leaders say that will raise farmers' pay. They say it will cut the use of child labor. Okay, let's go to our articles, our activities. So today we have power words. Power words are our vocabulary. Today it's 8 questions. And then we have our writing and our quiz. So let's see our writing. How and why are U.S. lawmakers blocking means stopping, the import of cacao into the United States? Also explain the connection between cacao farms and child labor. Use 2 or more details from the article and write in your own words. Do not copy and do not write the same answer as your friend. Even if you work together, you must have your own unique answers. When you are finished writing, go to your quiz. 4 questions. If you have any questions, send me a message on Remind. Have a great weekend.